and so the rear will come down first. All I've got to do is hold that and the front will drop quite easily. Recumbent stand. It can be pulled apart so that it can be stacked, transported, flat. And we have wheels which can be locked. See? So that's handy. And on the other side we have these which can be turned. What I've done is I've marked where all of my joints in that are on the whole thing so that I can get it all lined up nicely if I need to take it apart and put it back together again. So I measured all of that out earlier. So let's just undo this a little bit so we can get the pole in. And you can get these poles in. That one in there. And the bottom as well. So that those go in there together like that. And the same thing down the bottom here. I'll just make that finger tight for now. Okay, and we will tighten this up. Won't take much. Both of those. You can make it as tight as you want to. Turn this up the right way round. So you can see that it turns freely. Beautiful little piece, this. These turn as well, these brackets here, which we will use to put the recumbent in. Take this recumbent and we put it into the stand, just like that. That's a piece of cake. So it goes in there really, really easy. And I've got a little bit of play in the wheels, as you can see. I will just lock this and I can maneuver it around very easily. Ah, that's fantastic. So I can get to everything. I can work on everything quite comfortably. Give it a really good clean, do whatever it is that I need to do with it. People have wondered why I've got that stand, and that was purely so that if I'm going uphill and I run into difficulty, instead of rolling back or trying to find my way around, I can actually, if I'm in the wrong gear, I can just pop it onto a stand. It pushes because it'll only ever be used when I'm going uphill. I've got no problem with it. The weight of the recumbent pushes back into the stand and I'm able to reach the pedals to turn the back wheel while I'm changing gears. So that's the whole purpose of that. I've made a tool tray to go with it. And this is the tool tray. So what I've done is I've just put a couple of little pieces on to the back of the tray, screwed them through here, and so that I can clip this tray on either the top or the bottom, either here on the top or on the bottom. I prefer it on the bottom, to be honest with you. So I just clip that in there like that, move it along, clip it into the bottom there, and I've got a nice little work tray, and I can put my tools on there so that I can get to them quite easily. And there we go. But it's mainly the recumbent, the recumbent stand that I wanted to show you. And Gary makes these. Gary's my cousin, and he's really good and clever when it comes to stuff like this. He's a pattern maker by trade, and not dress patterns, makes patterns for castings by trade, and so he's very clever, and he's always making things and manufacturing things, etc. He's very good. At the moment he's retired, but he makes these stands as a bit of a hobby and for a little extra income. He makes very little profit off of these. He loves helping people, and so he does these stands. He also does these little nameplates, as you can see here at the back, and he makes the seat side system. So it makes these brackets over here and these bars, which I've done a little bit of footage on before, but I'll do some more so you can see. Now it's easier to put this, take the seat off and put these on and get them exactly where you want them. And so this is what I'm going to be doing today, is I'm just going to be lining this up a little bit with it on my lap like this, and then I'm going to put the seat back on. Okay, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and level this up. You can see it's not quite level, so that is the plan for today. Try and level that up a little bit. So I'll just undo these a bit. Because I've got this shrink wrap on this pole, what's happened is it has pinched the shrink wrap, and that is what's stopping it from turning. So I'm just going to undo this a little bit more and just get this one turned over to suit that one if I can. Which just means that I'll just put that in there like that. Oh, the whole thing is turning. That's not what I wanted. I just wanted the one to turn. It's the shrink wrap that's the issue. So I'll actually take this off and show you what I'm talking about. And I'll put some tape around the seat as well, so as not to damage it, you know. And there you can see that I've pinched the wrap, but I think that I can still maneuver this around and get it where I want it to be. So I'm going to try that, and I think that'll work. I'm going to pull it out just a little bit. It may or it may not. We'll see. We'll see. What I generally do is I tighten the center one first, and then I can try and keep the tension on all of them at the same time and keep it where I want it to be. As long as the bag sits where I want it to sit, that's the most important thing of all. So let's get that around there. I think that this is going to be as close as I'm going to get it. Now, we could have made these cutouts just a fraction larger, you know, but it needs to grip, so you don't want to be making it too large. So that's fine where it is. It looks professional. It does the job, which is the most important part of the whole thing. You can hear it clicking in as I reach its type. Now, I haven't used any Loctite on any of these. I would suggest that if you're not going to be taking it on and off, to put Loctite on them and keep it in one place. So Gary does mark them for me. He puts some pits on the ends so that I know that those two go together and that those two go together, because when you drill these bolts through, you want to be absolutely perfect for each of them. So that's that. Next thing to do is clean the recumbent and put the seat back. And the adjustment for this line tensioner, what that does is it stops this device here, the holder for the bag. It stops that from tilting under and causing the bag to lean over. So it keeps it parallel to the recumbent and to the ground as well. So that's what that does there. And the tensioners for that are these little holes in here. It's a different size tool that is needed. And the cable comes through the bottom, as you can see over here. And on that side as well. And so I haven't cut this off. You can cut it off if you wish to, but I've left it on so that I've got something to pull on if I want to tighten it even more. The adjuster for the angle this way and that way is over here. So again, it's a different size tool. Everything on this is a different size tool. Same here, I can undo this and I can swivel the whole thing backwards and forwards. There's 2 bolts over there. And this is just a handlebar extension, a handlebar extender. So you can buy them. I got the smallest one that I could get. I didn't want 2 different sizes in tubing. I have had to use a spacer in this one over here initially, but once we put the shrink wrap on, I found that I didn't need the spacer anymore, so I took the spacer off. So the shrink wrap acts as a spacer for me on that one, so that's good. And I've got to say that every one that I have is different. It's a different size, so it's very hard to get the right size. Now the one that I'm putting in the links is for this particular one. So, and this is the best one. I haven't actually had to use a spacer with this one. The shrink wrap has done the trick for me. Now I'm not cleaning my chain because my chain is actually waxed. So this here is my alarm. So it goes off if the recumbent is disturbed in any way, shape or form. It's got 5 settings on it, so you can set it for sensitivity to so sensitive that the wind will set it off, or insensitive enough that that the wind won't. What I like about this is that I can just sit here and I can take my time and work on it, and I can turn it around to whatever angle that I want. It's a lovely way to spend a few hours cleaning the recumbent. I quite enjoy that, to be honest with you. That's where my little tray comes in handy again. I can keep everything close by, and even if I roll this out of the workshop, which I do occasionally to clean it, especially if it's really filthy, to give it a good hose down. And this particular recumbent, this X5, folds in half. This is the catch here, the latch, to fold it in half, and this would fold over this way. Turn this around this way. See how handy it is to be able to just maneuver it around however you choose. It's really good. If the recumbent is slightly heavier, what I wanted to do was show you that there is a means by which we can lift it on and off the trike stand. If it's too heavy for you to lift, I do have a pulley system. This is just a canoe pulley system, which I've adapted to use on the recumbent. I don't want to damage anything, so I'm just checking that everything is in place and where it ought to be before we start to lift it. And I've replaced the rope that came with the original. The original rope is this really thin stuff here, and it's difficult to hold, it's difficult for the hand, and so I replaced it with this thicker nylon rope. So there we go, and we just pull it up like this. You can lift the front if you want to, because it's unbalanced because I don't have a seat on it, so I can lift it like that. And I just need a little bit more clearance. So I'll lift it like this. Push this up higher. Till I get it to where I want it to go, and I can lock it off. And just to be on the safe side, I tie it off on the thing as well. And that way, my stand is free, and so I'm able to put it back on there, and I can work on it at this height as well. So if I wanted to put my seat on it, I can put my seat on, I can lift it up, and I can see what I'm doing with that. And I can also look underneath and see where I've missed a bit when I'm cleaning. So, which is what I'll tidy up right now before I bring it back down and show you how it goes back into the onto the stand. Remember, you can turn all of this around. You can lock the wheels off if you wish to. That's locked. Release it. I don't think you can see the bottom of it because of the way I've done things, but you can certainly see the middle here as I've done that. And that is the Trike Stand. If you would like one of these, basically what you're doing is you're measuring between the wheels for this distance here, center points, and you're measuring from the center of your wheel to this join over here where the back wheel goes, so that you've got the distance between these two. So that's that length. So that's what's important. The height, they will all be the same height unless you want something specific, in which case if you ask Gary to, he will make it specifically for you. It doesn't come with the tray. However, if you ask him for one, I'm sure that he will supply that also. But you can do that yourself if you want to. It's just a baking tray, and you can, whatever size tray you want. I mean, this was one that we had laying around that I'd never used, and so I thought, oh, I'll just use that. Now the beauty of this is it comes with these rollers on the bottom, as you can see, the wheels, and you can lock those off at any time. You can lock one off, or you can lock them all off, and that'll keep it sturdy. Okay, so undo that, and undo this one here, so they can move around. The other thing is that these turn as well. They're not as free turning as the wheels are, but you can adjust them. Contact Gary, and I'll put all of these details in below. In the meantime, I'm going to take the recumbent down and put it back into this. So you can pick them up and put them in there quite easily depending on the weight of the recumbent. If it's heavy though, I would suggest that you get one of these. So I bought two of them, so this one's still in its package. It's got the instructions on it on how to install it and all that sort of thing. So it's for hanging bicycles or for hanging up canoes and that sort of thing, you know. So it's fantastic. My advice is grab one of those. Where did I find it? I've had this a number of years. I think I found it on eBay. So that's over there, and I will now take the recumbent down. We'll get a trike stand underneath the recumbent. So we want it about here. We line up the front section, and then we'll just lower it down. And remember, they're not very well balanced, and so the rear will come down first. All I've got to do is hold that, and the front will drop quite easily. So it's control. I can do this with on my own. I don't need any help with it. So there we go. And there we go. That's in. Now what I can do is I can just take that off. Take it off the front as well. Pull this up, get it out of the way. Wait for that one to get to the top. And I will release this one. Take it up to the top as well. And then we'll just tie that off there. And there we are. She's down and she's portable. I can turn her around any which way that I choose. As you can see. So I will put my seat back on now. Need my bolts to go through. I'll turn this around a little bit and I will bolt it from the other side so that you can see what I'm doing. actually about there, I would say. And then what I want to do is I want to put this bolt in through here. And there she goes. And the back just fits on there. When I sit down on it, that will clip into place perfectly. So let's just bring that back a little bit and find the right tool, which I think is this one. I think this is the right size. Get this underneath here into my bolt. And I'm doing this the other way around so that you can see what I'm doing. Putting my bolt in from there. So you can put Loctite on this if you wish, but the seat comes off quite frequently, so I'll put that on and I will just tighten it up. Hand strength, I'll do it from over here because it's a little bit too difficult to get to it from the other side. So there we go, that's it, that's done. And then I can take it off using the pulley system, and I can lower it right to the ground using that pulley. I've got enough rope there to do that. I can lift it off the ground to put it onto the recumbent stand. So let's put this out of the way. Excuse my back. Or I can take it off by hand. As I've said before, it's not that heavy. So particularly this one's quite light, so I could lift it off, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it on there because I like to maneuver it around and put it out of the way. So it generally sits over there in the corner, and the others, so that I've got a bit of maneuverability in here. I just want to thank Gary for sponsoring us and sponsoring this video in particular. He's been a sponsor of ours for a long time, and we want to give it back. So this is the way that we will give it back, is we will put a short ad at the end of all of our videos on the recumbent trike stand, the seat side mount and the nameplates. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and if you are a subscriber, hit the like button and share this far and wide, and don't forget to leave a comment. We love to hear questions or suggestions or ideas, anything to do with either our lifestyle or our recumbent riding. Our lifestyle is whole food, plant-based. We're Christians, and we don't cram it down anybody's throat, but we always give all glory to God. So we want to thank you for watching this video, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Bye for now. God bless. Shout out to Gary Hoffman for sponsoring this video. Gary makes the rolling recumbent trike stand. Lightweight, inverted, it can be pulled apart, stacked, transported, flat. We have wheels which can be locked, clamped, assembled, bolted, tool trays, adjustable oar locks. You can lock one off or you can lock them all off. And Gary makes these little nameplates, seat side system, and the side seat mount system that we use on all our trikes. Bags are not included, but see the links in the description below. Thanks, Gary, for sponsoring this video.